Good morning, wonderful people. Welcome to another wonderful day on the renovation. We're insulating this morning. There's Gregor, already hard at work. So yeah, the plan is to get the ceiling in the timber frame here and the timber frame walls all insulated. So we're using Rockwool. So it's 140 mil of Rockwool, which fits nicely within our 6-inch studs. And the same will be true of the rafters. Now we want to be careful not to stuff too tight into the rafters and try and leave a little tiny air gap underneath. The build-up that I've got approved actually doesn't require an air gap, so because of the amount of insulation we're using. Anyway, that's a slightly technical thing. And then we'll put a quilt underneath that, and a high performance insulating quilt. And on the walls, we'll use another foil membrane, which will reflect any heat back into the building and keep it cool in the summer, and it acts as a vapor barrier. So we'll get to that later on. But for the minute, we're installing the Rockwool, and we've got the Fez tool out, the insulation saw. Yeah, a good bit of kit. We've used it an awful lot for the rigid insulation board, which is this stuff called PIR, but it also works with a slightly different blade. With the Rockwool, with the soft insulation, and actually it works a treat. It cuts really well, and especially as it's quite thick, 140 mil, really helpful. We're just working out how best to do it, what the technique is, just to get it fitting nicely. So these first couple down here, you might be able to see the edges a little bit squishy, a little bit too wide to fit in there, just straight out the box or out the bag. These ones we've trimmed down and they fit a lot nicer, and we just get nice clean edges on there. Quite a lot to get on with, so let's crack on. Hey, so there you go, bit of insulation. You can probably hear the sounds changed all the way up and over and the other side. So just this last little bit of wall to do, which we'll run in once we've actually built the wall and we've cladded the outside and all that jazz. So, but for the most part, all done. So the next thing to do is to put this quilt on, which is going to be interesting. You might be able to see, if I try and show you, it's got all these different layers in there, which makes it quite a pickle to cut and fit. Morning, folks. No, not in a spaceship. We're just making a bit of progress with getting this foil up on the roof. There you can see, that's a little mezzanine just above my head. So yeah, it's proving a little tricky because it's a really thick quilt. You can see on the side here all the layers that make up the quilt itself. So I mean, it's good stuff, but it means it's very thick and quite a pickle to handle. It's nicely seamed on this end. That's the factory edge there, and then this is the edge that we've trimmed. So yeah, bit of a pickle to handle, but we're getting there. We've got a good system now. Good morning, wonderful people, to a slightly damp and dreary morning. We're inside, which is handy, and just finishing off the insulation. So we got it all membraned up last night. Morning, Gregor.
Morning.
Gregor was just doing the last batten up the top there, and that's all gone a lot better this morning. Now you might be able to see the gauge behind me. Between there and there is a lot bigger between there and there. That's because we've got the overlap between the two sheets, and we don't obviously want a double thickness because it'll give ourselves a wonky ceiling. So we're just going to try and figure out what we do there. Maybe run some battens in there rather than the 50 by 50 or something like that. But anyway, that's largely done all the way up there. Just got to sort out around the Velux, but when we come to plasterboarding, we'll probably get those fitting exactly right so that we can dress in around the window properly and nicely. So game plan today, finish that up, and then we're going to get all that plasterboarding gear in here, and then I'm going to block up this little opening on the side and fit that little window. But that'll mean access is gone bye-bye. So gonna need to open into the house, which is really quite exciting. So yeah, a few little jobs on the agenda today. So let's see how we get on. Everybody wants to see plasterboard being shifted, don't they? go. So we've got all the plasterboard in, got a couple of sheets of OSB which we'll use on the bathroom wall, and just cleared that space there. So the next thing is frame up the side of the house and put the window in, and yeah, then we're getting somewhere. Happy days. There you go, folks. There's the little window framed up. Long time coming. Window's ready to go in, and the OSB sheeting on the outside is ready to go. But we're not going to do that just yet because we're going to open that up, which is quite a momentous occasion. Now connecting the old with the new. So we're going to have access here. So Gregor's gone round. He's going to have the back on that side. We're going to use the multi-tool and just roughly cut out an opening here, just big enough for me to squeeze through. And that means that we can, once we've sheeted up that side, I can run around and work from the inside out to fit the window and such things. So here we go. Go, folks. Hello. That's a long time coming, isn't it? Hey, buddy.